What's going on, everybody? I'm Shane from Heads and Tails, and I know it's been a little bit since I've been out, but tonight we are going to do a late night snake bites. I'm out here watching the chicken shed, making sure nothing's trying to break in. Had some chickens get attacked the other day, so now I'm basically sitting in the car waiting for something to show up and try to scare it off or catch it. We'll see. I want to see at least what it is, so I'm on a little bit of a stakeout. Um, Figured I might as well hop on, say hello to everybody. What up, Gage? I can actually probably go in here and post the link if you guys want to come up here and chat. I'm down with that. Let me know. I'll post the link. Actually, I'll do it now, anyways. All right, we're back. My bad. Cool. Hey, what's going on, Try Vlogs? I appreciate you for stopping by. Not much. I'm on a bit of a stakeout, trying to make sure that none of my chickens are getting picked off. I had a rat snake trying to get in the other day, and it got caught up in the netting. It actually died. I wasn't trying to like kill it or anything. I was gonna just, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting in my driveway waiting for something to attack my chickens or try to attack my chickens. So we'll see. What up? Appreciate you. What's going on, Justin? Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I would imagine with me sitting out here talking to you guys, it's probably not going to have anything actually show up tonight. But I haven't been on in a while. If I can at least keep it away for a couple nights, maybe it'll find something else to do. You know, we'll see. I don't know. Might have to do the sad thing, but yeah, there was like a good 5 foot rat snake. It got caught up in like because we have this netting that goes over it, like over the whole chicken run. It's like a 50 by 50 foot net, but some of it hangs down a little bit on like one side because it goes over the chicken run. It got caught up on the outside of the chicken enclosure, so it didn't actually get in and it got caught. So I was happy about that, but we had some chickens die, which it might have just been from the 4th of July, but I don't know. Gotta look for it anyways. How was your guys' 4th of July if you celebrate it? Other than that, how have you guys been? I finally got my first clutch of snakes hatched out. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. I'll probably go and grab them in a little bit, but I was like, I'll let the vlog get rolling a little bit before I actually start to bring out any of the cool stuff. I don't know what's going on with these snakes. The only thing I can do at this point is keep them, breed them, and then see if I can prove them out. Other than that, hopefully the genetic testing comes back for Puzzle and Cryptic soon. Then I can test that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I would say what I have is just a visual krypton, but it doesn't match any other kryptons. It's as if there's another gene in there, and it seems like a recessive. So it might be puzzle and krypton. It might be a double visual, and I don't know. I'm sending out the next time my female has a shed. I'm going to send that shed in to get it tested for yellow belly and clown because I want to make sure she is what she's supposed to be. Yellow belly and not het for clown, but I think she is het for clown. So we're going to get her tested. If she comes back het for clown, then I know. I'm like, okay, what I do have is for sure a Krypton, not a puzzle or a cryptic, or, like I'll know for sure it's a Krypton. Okay. Then we move on to the next step of it, trying to find out if it's actually a visual puzzle or not, which that's going to be a little bit more difficult. All four of these hatchlings I got are all female. I've popped them twice on like within like 2 weeks of each other. They all look female. Had a buddy of mine with me on the second one. He's looking at him and he's like, "Dude, I don't think you're lying. I think they're all female." I'm like, "I know. I don't see any. There was nothing doing this. It was just with a little hole. Like it was like this. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they're all female, which cool and bad, because I'm like, man, I kind of wish one of them was a male so that way I could, breed siblings together and stuff and see what comes out of that. But I think that what I'm going to do is, the good news is by having a Krypton, if you breed it to a visual clown, all the babies will come out clown or Krypton, So that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. Getting lost with it. What up, Bronx? Appreciate you. Yeah. It's so much, dude. I don't know. All right. So, Bronx, I see you just came in. I'm get a little bit into this whole thing. I hatched my babies. I had what I thought was a pastel yellow belly Enchi het puzzle female to a pastel orange dream Enchi het puzzle pos het hypo male. I got something that don't fit that description. When it came out, it's absolutely a banger. I don't know what it is, but it's a banger. Like, it's a cool looking snake. Maybe it's not worth a whole lot. Maybe it's worth way more than I think. I don't know. I've been trying to look up different snakes and this and that, and its eye line, it's got like a black stripe. That black stripe doesn't match puzzle. It just doesn't. I have seen a few puzzle combos that have that black stripe, but it's usually still interrupted somewhere. Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's got all the stripes up and down and stuff, and then once it gets to the tail, it's just like it's separated as if it's a puzzle, because puzzle is supposed to be like the columns don't actually reach the belly, they just stay up, and then the belly has like half columns and they go along together, but not the whole snake. It's always just parts of the snake. The only thing is they're not, the bottom columns aren't interconnecting like a lot of puzzle combos do. However, there's also a lot of genes in there, and nobody's ever made that combo on any of these. If we go, I've literally looked up like cryptic, krypton, puzzle, a mirror, all of them. Snake Ltd. What did he end up making? Do you know what he called his? Because I've been looking so hard, but like mine's got this real yellow like bill. It's like real yellow up front and like almost like square, dude. As you said, some similar looking stuff, but all Pied related. Oh, wow. Yeah. And see, I think some of that stuff is just going to be the fact that it's like, you know, um, the pastel, the enchi, the orange dream, and the yellow belly, all I think it's an all gene snake. But even when you go all gene, it doesn't match. You can put all the genes in there and it doesn't match to them. I've been looking for a while and I'm at this point, I don't even care if it's a damn $200 snake, you know, I just want to know what it is. But I think the only way for me to figure it out, I honestly think that it might be like an all gene Krypton puzzle. We will find out. It's going to take now 3 years for that girl to grow up. However, I was also thinking about trying to shortcut the system. First thing I'm going to do is get the mom to these babies tested for clown. Since there's no test for puzzle or cryptic or krypton or, you know, any of that, it's got to be just clown. So, okay, get her tested for yellow belly and clown. Make sure that it is indeed yellow belly clown. I know the pastel, I know the enchi. It's easy to see those two. The yellow belly, I appreciate that. I think so too, dude. When I got it out, I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This is like a Canova snake." You know, I was losing my mind. I was like, "Oh man, this is something like Canova would make." You know, it's got like this crazy flaring on the belly. Oh man, and like I got to keep bringing myself back down and being like, "All right, man, it may not be that crazy snake that I got, but." At the same time, it would be dumb for me to sell it not knowing what it is, you know? So if you guys are ever down to search Morph Market, uh, Morphologics actually has a snake that is very similar to mine. As far as a pattern and all of that stuff goes, it's very similar to mine. Mine's a little bit more defined on the flaring and stuff. Like mine's got a little bit more clean blacks to it and stuff. But his is like almost all the same genes as mine, but he also has fire and his is pied. But when you, all right, so I really looked at these two snakes side by side. Like I took a picture of mine, took a picture of his, staring at him for a while, and I don't think mine has fire in it. I don't think mine's got fire in it because the fire tends to do what fire does and make it a little more rapid. You know, like mine seems real controlled. I don't know, maybe that's got to be like the Krypton or the puzzle or something doing that, is what I'm thinking. Maybe it is fire and it's just like still being contained, but I don't think there's fire in there. The pairing wasn't supposed to have fire in it. I don't know. I don't know. That's the closest snake to it, but it still doesn't match the head stamp. That's the problem, is I can either get, well, I can't get anything that's the exact same head stamp, but I can get things that are pretty close on the head stamp, and they're almost all like enchi puzzle stuff. It like the enchi puzzle stuff kind of brings it a little closer, so I'm like, all right, what up, Blakers? Appreciate you, buddy. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm still waiting for it to shed too. That sucks. That sucks. All three of the other babies shed. This one, of course, the super cool one is not shedding yet. So we'll see. I offered them a pinky today. What up, Cole? Appreciate you for coming in. Hey, I put the link at the top if you want to hop on and chat with me a little bit. Oh, man. But yeah, dude, I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, it's either nothing or everything. You know, like it's very tough to identify that snake. After the SIG, I'll go in there, I'll grab it, I'll show you guys. I'll turn on some more lights up in here. You know, we'll get some good light going. I got you, Cole. I'm on chicken watch, making sure that the chickens don't get attacked. Right? Hey, all right. So all four of them, I have popped them twice. All four of them female. Um, Good and bad. I kind of wanted one of them to be a male, but yeah. I'm sitting in the car on a stakeout trying to make sure my chickens don't get attacked tonight. I had some chickens die the other day, and a few days before that, I had caught a rat. Well, I didn't catch it. It got caught up in my net, and the rat snake had died in like this net. So, but still, a couple days after that, some had died, and it might have been from like 4th of July. Everybody's lighting off crazy fireworks and stuff. But I'm just like, yeah, I cannot show it on camera. Ooh, I got something I can show. I'll show the funny one. Hey, bro, this shit gonna get maced. Hit him with the mace. It's just a fucking snub nose. I, fuck, that thing's ancient. I don't know, man. uh, I don't know if it's gonna work. It hasn't been very well taken care of. It's like I don't know, Tama's grandpa's or something, you know. It's just some old ass one sitting around, and I was like, screw it, I'll take this with me. So when I shoot it, I'm gonna be like this, you know, because I'm not sure if that thing's gonna blow up or not. It seemed clean, you know. Pulled it out, I was like, all right, I don't see anything in there, but you know, old ass bullets, bro. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm a little scared to let that thing loose. That's why I was like, you know what? I might use the mace at first. I might use the mace at first. Sucky thing would be if I use the mace and then the thing attacks me and I'm getting attacked while I'm blinded by my own mace. Oh man, I should get this on camera. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, man, I hope it's nothing big. I was like, because I don't want to have to shoot this thing. I was like, if it's something small, I'm gonna just take it out. You know, I got some shovels around, smack it around a little bit, be like, get the hell out of here. You know, get off my lawn. Right, shit your pants as you run away. That's never a bad idea. I think I won't intentionally do that, but it might happen. I mean, dude, Texas is a scary place at night. It's the reason why I'm in the car. Might have to hit it. You know, I might have to. I should back up and get a good angle for like smacking that thing. I got a good angle right now to like bail out and run, like be full stride instantly. You know, that's my plan. We'll see if it works. You see me just jump out, being like, "Hey, get away from my chickens!" You know, yeah, America. Oh man, I know there's a possum around here, but I don't think it's that one. I don't think that's what's messing with it. Oh, and I put motion sensor lights all over the place, so I'm like waiting for some lights to come on. I'm like, oh, where is it? I know, man. I gotta get my dang GoPro. Put my GoPro on my chest, be running. Appreciate you, Siberian. See you later. John don't live here no more, bro. He moved out yesterday. Got him his own place. He got an apartment. Cool. Oh, dang. Hey, try to not get them to do that. Possums eat almost all of the ticks they come in contact with, and they're North America's only marsupial. Other than that, they're like literally like an alligator cat. So, that's another thing. An alligator cat rat. Oh, that's cool. Heck yeah. Dude, I've just been trying to like get all my stuff in order and like really trying to make this thing work. And then, dude, with this crazy hatchling that I got, I don't know, man. I was gonna like go hard on the marketing with this stuff and be like, look at these awesome snakes. But I'm like, dude, I don't really want to do that until I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be foolish and, make these crazy claims and be like, I know that's what it is. I want to make sure that whatever I sell, whatever I get rid of, I know what it is, and I know that I'm doing it according to what it is, not like just making up random prices and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I definitely have a I don't want to sell it price on these babies. And that one crazy looking one, it might be way higher than it's worth. It might be exactly what it's worth. But, at the same time, I don't want to sell it. So it's like, all right, so having 4 females, I don't need all 4. I got one guy that's interested in getting I believe it's actually pastel orange strain. It might be super pastel orange strain, but its head's still a little dark. I would have thought that it would have lightened up by now. Yeah, yeah. I can tell you one thing. It's at absolute minimum, I feel like it's still like an $800 snake. At absolute minimum. Even if I strike out on all of the genes and it's like, oh, it's only codoms in there, there's no recessives whatsoever. It's just a really good example of all of those genes. Good job. Still $800. And it's a female, so I could kind of boost it to like 9. But dude, all right, if it's a Krypton with all those genes, we're instantly into like the $3,000 range, maybe even more, because I've seen some really cool hets, like just that were like just het puzzle and like some Kryptons and stuff like that were just like really expensive for not a lot of good reason. I mean, I guess there was one that was like Super Orange Dream or something. It was like $7,500. And I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, that's the whole thing is it's so dang clean. Those genes shouldn't make it that clean. It's got to have a recessive in it. That's the problem, is that we're now looking, going, okay, what is in this that I can for sure say? Because I don't want to tell people it's this and it's not. Yes, the DNA test, awesome. Except for, oh yeah, okay, so mom and dad are both Enchi. Mom and dad are both pastel. But mom has yellow belly, dad has orange dream. So put all of those genes together and it still doesn't equal the snake, because they're supposed to be both 100% het for puzzle. The striping in the eye doesn't match a puzzle. Everything else on it is like, whoa, that's a crazy snake. What the heck is that? Doesn't match puzzle though. So then I started looking at Kryptons. It matches Krypton except for how thick the yellow is. The yellow on the head that comes up so high over its eyes and it's like all on its forehead and stuff, well, it comes up like this and then separates and goes up back like that. Heck yeah. Damn, I wish I had my second phone right now. So the problem is that I can get the pattern, I can get the eye stripe with the black, but I can't match the yellow and the black together. Like nothing is matching that pattern. It's just so rough. I know it's got to be inchy, you know. Did you post a picture or something or a link? The test isn't out yet, bro. They got clown, desert ghost, all these other things. They don't have cryptic, they don't have puzzle. And those are the two things I need to test for because cryptic and puzzle are super similar. The hole gets even deeper as we talk about this because I started talking to Sean Bradley, the guy that first discovered the puzzle gene. I told him who I had gotten my mail from and what he had bred to it, you know. And he's like, absolutely. He remembers it, that it was his snake, you know, that he had bought. The guy had bought one of Sean Bradley's original snakes, bred it to it was a visual puzzle het hypo, is what he bred to a pastel orange dream enchi. My snake got all those. It was het for puzzle, Haas het hypo, and pastel orange dream enchi. So I was like, there's no way there could be cryptic in this, right? Because it's literally like coming from your original puzzle line. And he didn't say much at first, and then we started talking later, and he said puzzle and cryptic were riding along together since the beginning. Yeah, I've been staring at Ozzy's morph market for a while. I tried to get Ozzy to. Well, Ken was talking to Ozzy about it. I should have talked to him. I don't know why Ken wanted to, but yeah. So I'll probably message Ozzy a little bit too, see what he's got in mind for this. But all right, so basically, after talking to Sean, he said that puzzle and cryptic always rode together. He doesn't think that they are the same gene. He just said they always rode together and that they never separated them until people went off on their own lines and started doing their own paths, you know? So it wasn't until he had sold all of his stuff that people had started finding cryptic and puzzle, that they were two separate genes. So the reality is that my boy that I thought was het for puzzle, pos het hypo, is most likely a double het because he also said that the most beautiful puzzles are almost always also cryptic. So at this point, I'm trying to prove the fact that cryptic and puzzle are separate genes or they are the exact same gene. Mine is either, it could either be a freaking het puzzle. It'll either be 50% het puzzle, Krypton. Well, it could be, 66% het puzzle because the female, I'm still assuming is what I bought her as a het puzzle. I did get some crazy snakes, so I'm not assuming that she's not yet. Only got 4 eggs. Didn't get a super clean puzzle out of it, but I got this crazy one, so I don't know. The whole idea here is that if it's a Krypton, cool. If it's a Krypton puzzle, that's crazy. That's like super big money. If it's a puzzle, it's big money too, but if it's a Krypton puzzle, it's like out of this world crazy. Oh no. Only way to do it? All right, so the only test I can do is I can test the mom for clown. I'll do that on her next shed. I'm going to send in her next shed, get her tested for clown, find out if she is het for clown. If she's not het for clown, then there's no way it could be a Krypton because the mom doesn't have clown in her. and the male definitely doesn't. I know the lineage on the male. The mom is a little shady on the lineage, so I'm like, I think there's clown in there or something. So we're gonna get her tested. She comes back not clown, dude. It's a puzzle, you know. I don't know. We'll see. I would hope to see the. I'd like to see the puzzle test come out real soon, but I don't know, man. I think they're running into issues. I think they're doing puzzle and cryptic, and they're going, is there a difference here? I'm not sure. So I hope there's a difference there, honestly, because puzzle is going to be always more valuable than cryptic. Cryptic being allelic to clown makes it a little less valuable. You can't stack genes as well because then everything's just het clown. It's not a visual clown, So if you make a puzzle clown, though, you can keep stacking more genes on top of it. It doesn't stop you from anything. But having a krypton instead of a visual clown and a visual cryptic, you can't make it. It's only a krypton. So kryptons are useful for breeding, though. It makes it so that you don't get anything bogus if you're breeding it to a visual clown. It's like everything is going to be clown or everything is krypton. There's nothing else coming out. So, I don't know. Some weird thoughts, weird shit. All right, y'all stay here. Keep my seat warm. I'm going to go and grab some of these babies. Dr. Doom. right, dudes. Chicken thief about to jump in the trunk. Right, they're coming. Alright, so let's start off with the most basic of them all. Shut up. Okay. This one, oh, there we go. I believe this one to be a pastel orange dream. Don't see much tracks on her belly. See how she's got that like orangish look to her sides? That's not the camera. She is orange on her sides in comparison to the yellow on her back. So this little girl, pretty cool. Now I'll grab one of the twins. Come on, man. This one's a little runner. Want to see your head stamp? All right. This one I'm calling number 1. See, even these things got some cool flaring and patterns going on. This one I believe is it's either Yellow Belly Enchi Orange Dream or it's Pastel Enchi Yellow Belly. Right, that one did look super pastel. Okay, so let me try to get this in a better camera angle too. Hold on. So what's like all this little like, hold on, let me see. It's got some dark spots right there. Like a little bit of weird scales. It's like almost like a sugar coating or something. I don't know what's going on with that. Both of them have it too. Maybe it's just a pastel or whatever. I don't know. But that one's still got some cool pattern. And its back pattern is pretty insane. Oh, that's the Enchi? I got you, for sure. Hey, where are you going? Sorry, this little girl's running on me. Okay, now let's grab number 2. This is the other twin. I call her number 2. Let me undo her a little bit. Get her unraveled, showing off a little. Show your prettiness. So, lots of pattern. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Got some pattern on the belly, you know. Some good stuff going on. And then we got her flaring going on. Show your tail. And the crazy thing is that the pattern's different on each side. So, I really like you. And both of the twins do that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. They got some puzzle piece looking stuff going on right around here, right? I don't know. Interesting. Might be some regular stuff, might be some cool stuff. I do agree, they definitely got nice contrast going on. Cool looking flaring. I like the flaring. All right. Now we got you. Crazy one. Go that way. There you go. Show off your pretty skin, girl. I know. I know you don't like it. Okay, so there's this weird thing that's going on. Hold on. It's getting hot in this mug. I turned off the AC because I was trying to keep these sinks pretty warm, but it's hot as shit in here. So, mission accomplished. All right, so I'm trying to see if we can see it in here. Yeah, like, all right, so there's like this little line right here. If you can see it. And there's another one. Where's the other one? Right there. Oh, right in the middle. Yeah, funny. Stop it. She's in shed right now, too. Stop it. Face the camera. Super peanut butter melon, you damn right it is. Yeah, I can tell you right now, it's not a super pastel super NG. You can look up a super pastel super NG anytime you want, and it doesn't match this. It is fire, but I don't know if the genetic fire is in it. Um, but yeah, come on, man. If it was as simple as a damn super pastel, super inchy, don't you think I would have freaking realized that already and been like, oh, easy? Nah, it's not. It's not. And I'm not gonna undersell myself on something that I know is not. So it's absolutely not a super pastel, super inchy. I'm not even positive this thing's super pastel. It does have a blushed out head, but it's not super blushed out. I'm waiting for it to shed to really be able to tell. Um, it might be some fire in there. There's not supposed to be fire in there, but either way, nothing makes this headstand. Look at how much yellow there is in that. And if I can get it to show you the side of its head. Oh, no, don't go that way. Damn it. Come on. Show yourself, my friend. Show the. There you go. See how it's cut off? How the black stripe like starts to cut off a little bit? That's actually a telltale sign for Krypton puzzle cryptic. It just doesn't complete the cut, which a lot of them that complete the cut, I'm finding out. Look at you guys trying to run away on me. Get over here. Crazy snakes. Got a handful of goodies. Um, yeah, for sure. The fact of the matter is, I'm not selling them. You know, at least not until I can find out what all is inside them. I'm positive this one is at least a visual Krypton, if not a Krypton puzzle. There's never been one to be made to be able to identify what a Krypton puzzle is supposed to look like. But I would imagine it might look something like this, with some codoms in it. Later, Bronx. How much for what? Oh, to buy this one? Shit. I don't know, bro. I would have to hit you with the I don't want to sell it price, which is usually more than what it's worth, right? I don't know. 30,000. I can honestly say whatever I want because there's not another one. So, I mean, I could price it for whatever I want. I don't know. I think it's realistic value if it were Krypton puzzle. Super pastel, Enchi, orange dream, possibly yellow belly in there because I think the orange dream and the yellow belly is making that flaring happen. I don't know. I think it's probably a $2,000 snake, maybe 3,000 on average for the genes that I can prove. But I think there's genes in it that I can't prove yet. So I'm like, all right, man. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Y'all little guys are exploring, huh? Get your butt back in there. Where you at? Where you I don't even know how I went so far out of this room. Like, I accidentally clicked the back button one time, and all of a sudden, I wasn't even in StreamYard anymore. I was like, what the heck? But yeah. So this thing, the little baddie, I'm not really tripping off of this guy though, because if it is something cool, awesome. I got something really cool. If it's not, I got a lot of other clutches coming already. There's 2 other clutches in the incubator, and I'm not in a hurry to get rid of anything. So I don't know. I'm like, yeah, you guys can stay, and you're females. So the fact that they're all females, they always got a home here, you know? Even if all of my suspicions are completely wrong and they're just a bunch of codoms and really awesome looking codoms, cool, cool. I'll put that to my other stuff too. It don't matter. I got this was literally like the puzzle project was an afterthought, like a side thought. I know, right? She's not really feeling real special. I know. I'm sorry, baby. You are beautiful. I know you're one of a kind. She's like, don't let anybody convince you otherwise. I got you. What are you doing? Trying to get up there? What's up there? You goofy girl. She really wanted the rear view mirror. You can be my fuzzy dice, little girl. Want to get up there too? That is stupid cute right now. I know you guys don't see what I see. Oh man, come here, come here. Please come to me. She ain't gonna come to me. She's like, nah, this is awesome. We're at the top of the world. I know that's your spot, huh? Oh, you live in a van down by the river? Yep. What are you doing, little sneaker? See, you got way too much pattern on your belly. And you ain't got nothing going on in your belly. You crazy. Come here. Come here. Get down. You damn psycho. Oh, she is really trying to stay up there. Come here. Play with your damn tail until you come down. Yeah, I know. It'll piss you off, huh? Come here. Stop it. Oh, you little butt munch. Coming out. Yes, come here. Come here. You little crazy snake. Come on. Come here, dude. Oh man, I'm battling this snake right now. Hold on. There you go. Look at you trying to run. Little runner, she a track star. It was a pastel yellow belly Enchi het puzzle female to a pastel orange dream Enchi het puzzle pos het hypo male. However, after getting this one and the eye stripe not matching a puzzle, we are thinking that the female is also het for clown, which I originally was like, well, then I got a cryptic. Well, I got the male came directly from Sean Bradley's line. Like the dad to my male came directly from Sean Bradley's line. Uh, he said that the best puzzles are often also cryptic. Um, so he's thinking mine was a double het. So I pushed the puzzle and the cryptic to the baby. Come to find out, the mom was het clown, het puzzle. I can't prove this yet. I will as soon as they get the puzzle test, take the puzzle test. Other than that, I got to get a visual puzzle and put it to the female to see if any visuals come out that are just visual puzzle, and then I know she is. But then I also need the same thing on the guy's side. There's good ways and bad ways of going about it, trying to prove out these genes. I don't know exactly what my plan is right now. I know that step one is getting the test for the female of this pairing to find out if she was het for clown or not. Because if she's het for clown, we can say, okay, for sure, this is a Krypton. Cool. It doesn't mean that it's puzzle or it's not puzzle, but we will know that it's a Krypton. Nice try, little guy. Hold on, I'm battling. Uh, Sneak don't want to come back. Get out there. Yeah, sit your booties there. I'll let you hang with me, but you're not going to go around under the car and all that stuff. Spend lots of money and buy more snakes. Not really. I have most of that stuff already. So it's basically like what I would do is pair this back to her father. Well, I'm gonna probably pair all of these females back to their dad to see what comes out het for what. You know, that'd be pretty interesting. Because I think these two might be Krypton as well. I just don't think these are the Krypton puzzles. I think this is the only one that hit Krypton and puzzle. Because it's just so different looking. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see if I can get their noggins together. Go that way. Oh, that way. Uh, oh, come on. Damn it. Oh! Sorry, I was training with Hayden earlier. Keep getting these chest cramps now. Did the puzzle gene come from a pastel and spider gene? Well, I don't know who said spider gene. That was never in any literature I've seen about puzzle at all. It was a wild normal. It was a normal that went to the pastel. And that you can look that up on Morph Market. You can look it up on many different podcasts. But that was what the thing was it was a pastel to a normal, and Puzzle Gene came out of the incubator. Um, I didn't make up anything about puzzle. I didn't have, I don't even have like a visual puzzle. Well, until this one, it might be. But I just read the literature, man. That's all. It even kind of shows how shady the shit was back then too in the literature, because they're talking about like, okay, so he bought this one and then it didn't end up that, so then he had to buy this one and bought the guy's collection back and this and that. Like, I don't know, seemed a little funky. But yeah, also, dude, you think we wouldn't know if it was spider? Spider is a pretty easy gene to identify. Neither of the parents are spider, obviously. So, I don't know. That's crazy to me. I'm gonna need a safety meeting for that one, bro. I'm out in the car because I'm trying to catch a damn chicken thief or a chicken killer. No, they don't have seizures. They are kind of a retarded snake, though. They get a really bad wobble and they stargaze and they like lose like their equilibrium. So they'll like try to like slither upside down all the time and stuff. It's real weird. Yeah, dude. Hmm. These guys are real cool. Real cool. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put these guys back. Watch the car, make sure the. Oh, put this on. All right, I'm gonna go put these guys all back in their little hatchling tubs and stuff like that. They give you guys a little treat. But yeah, I have a bunch of like really good pictures of this that I was like taking my time and making sure that I got like decent pictures. So check out my Instagram for that stuff. I've actually gotten pretty good pictures of all of these guys so far. I don't think I've posted them all. Um, I don't know, man, because this isn't something I'm trying to really get rid of right now. I'm trying to figure it out. I have a clown project I'm working on. I got pied xanthic project I'm working on. Some possible albino stuff I may or may not be working on. Uh, I got some things working. Got like four or five other um, projects going. So I didn't really plan on this one being like my centerpiece actually to like all my projects, but by the looks of this, I might have something crazy. So it might be worth it to, go through all this stuff and try to see what I can prove out. I mean, either way, they're all females, so they're all cool with me, you know. They can stay as long as they want. Females are what we need in this hobby, so even if they're not something crazy, put into some clown stuff. Screw it, put into some exanthic stuff. I think a silver version of this thing would be pretty crazy. I don't know. This isn't great lighting either. There you go, brother. I know. I know. All right, I'll be back. I'm back. So yeah, I don't know, man. It can't be a super inchy because it's not reduced enough. Um, might be a super pastel, although it's not super white on the head. I would be more comfortable calling it uh, super pastel orange dream inchy than I would super pastel super inchy. Because I don't think a super pastel super inchy matches. But here's the thing is, if you look up any of these snakes, I can tell you all the genes in them. You look it up without any recessives, snake doesn't match. Doesn't match my snake. Oh, we are in a Ford Focus. Yep. Pretty cool. Not really. It's like an 08 or something like that. Nothing special. I got it for free. Pretty cool for that. Yeah, free car. Yeah. I'm lucky, just not in the ways of money. Like I never like if I'm gambling, dude, never gonna win that bet. If I'm betting money, bet on whatever I didn't bet on, because that's who's gonna win. Um, but I'm lucky in life. Like I be getting cars for free and all this stuff for free. Like everything just comes to me, man. It's weird. It's I don't know. Hey, heck yeah, thank you. Sweet. I should do more. I don't do enough, man. I should really like get involved, really try. But I wanted to wait until I had something to sell because I'm like, man, I'm like marketing all this stuff. I ain't even selling nothing. The heck I'm doing all this for? You know, like I don't know. So once I had these babies, I was like, all right, cool. I got something I can sell. You know, they're not the coolest things. They're just good snakes. And then they all ended up like I got that one that was super weird, and the twins are kind of weird looking. So I'm like, man, they don't match a pastel inchy. But if you look up a pastel inchy Krypton, they look real close. Free magnet. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't want to give these things away for free though, because what if they are $1,000 snakes? Then I'm just like, oh yeah, a couple $100 snakes. Here you go. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to kick myself like that. And I have 13 more eggs coming. Hopefully they make it. I don't know. You know, the reality is that we think all of our snakes are always going to make it, and then some end up duds or whatever, you know. So you don't know what you're actually getting. But I got 13 eggs in there. So one is 7 of them are from a clown clutch, which is going to have some pretty cool ones. I might get a world's first in there too. I can end up getting a pastel inchy butter Batman out of that one, which is pretty cool because, you know, I want some Batman stuff. Get all types of Batman combos out of there. Um, could end up with heads, but they'll all be 100% het anyways, so that's still cool. Oh, I am the free magnet. Dude, I am a free magnet, man. Things happen to me, and it's just like, I got a bunch of free snakes. I got free car. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. I spend money on this stuff too, though. Like, I'll buy stuff, and then people will be like, oh, we want this one? Okay. You know? Motley Butter Pastel Clown. I don't know what does Motley do. I don't know about Motley. This is news to me. Um, I worry about some of these newer genes. That's the one thing I gotta say is a lot of these newer genes. I think people are gonna find out that they're just all the same gene of one thing. You know, like it's like 2 or 3 of these genes that you know they're like, oh, this is a new one, that's a new one. It actually ends up being, oh, this was actually just this gene. You know, different line of it or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes I worry about codoms. Um, Nowhere in there does it say spider. I know what you're talking about. When he bought it back, it says it right on uh, whatchamacallit, on Morph Market. But nowhere in it does it say spider. In fact, I actually have multiple texts from him saying that it was when he was talking about his experience, it was a normal. It was a pastel to a normal. That's straight out the dragon's mouth. I got text to prove. I was told it works like enhancer. See, I'd like to, but I don't have my second phone right now. I'm gonna have to look it up later. What does it do? Throw some wacky patterns? Is it like thickening? Is it darkening, lightening? Like, give me a visual here. I'm gonna try to imagine this. I like busy clowns. That's if it's like if it makes it busy, heck yeah. Because I feel like a lot of my stuff has inchy in it, and I don't really like the high drawn pattern, like on the clown stuff where it just brings the clown stripe up real high. Not a huge fan of that. I know butter is pretty sweet on a lot of clown stuff. Looks like enhancer. So it like cleans it up? Doesn't enhancer clean the pattern? Like Desert Ghost? Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna look it up. Oh, everything was going crazy. Everything was going crazy. Alright, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Give me a second. Ooh. Ooh. That Fire Molly Lace Clown. Dang. Hmm. Okay, Jamie, I just checked out a bunch of that Motley stuff, even seen the one you were speaking about. That one you were talking about, awesome snake. Don't know if it's the Motley that's doing that or if it's the combination of the pastel butter clown doing most of that and then Motley adding in a little. Because when I started looking at other snakes that weren't necessarily that, they didn't look like it affected it a bunch. But in the butter, it really did. That made a big difference. Hmm. I think there's a future with the butter clown stuff, with that Motley gene, very possible. On the 23rd, I am cutting some butter clown eggs. So we can hopefully see if it's the butter, because I literally got pastel, Enchi, butter leopard, het clown female to a spot nose clown male. So we can find out like right away if it's the butter messing with it or if that Motley is really kicking ass in there. Because, dude, that's a cool snake. Yeah, yeah, it does a lot. That was a nice snake. What would you want to add to that? I would think that you'd need some darkening genes after that to kind of make it pop a little bit because you want as much contrast as you can get, you know? And the only downside to butter is that it takes some contrast away. So you're going to need some darkening genes, something that can really make it contrasty. Hey, message me on Instagram, Jamie. I'll let you know something that I'm working on, but it's a super secret project. I can't let everybody know. So I figured out some shit, and I think it's gonna work really well. So that might be a really cool direction for you to go. That would be awesome to see. It's a male. How big is that male? I didn't look. I was just looking at the snake. What are you gonna put him to? You gonna put him to something cool? Yeah, for sure. I realized a little thing about butter and lesser, um, and then I start really looking into it, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't a little thing. This is something big. This can change the whole game. So I got you. I'll end it in a little bit anyway, so I'll message you and stuff because I don't know, man. I don't think the chicken hunter's coming around today. Seems like a pretty quiet night. The other day, it was like, I don't know. I heard animals everywhere. There was like dogs wandering down the street and stuff. Got you. Definitely do the calculator for sure. But also, like, so one thing I try to do is I try to imagine what the end result snake is supposed to look like. Like, what am I really aiming for, you know? Am I trying to make a stripy looking snake with this color or that color? You know, like, it's difficult. I feel like that's the most difficult part about ball pythons. It's not being able to create the combos that other people have made. It's seeing genes, knowing what they do, and creating something new from it. That's the real difficult part. That's why Canova's at the top, because that man's out there doing that all the time, you know? Hey, what up, Cole? Appreciate you. I'm pause for the cause right now. So yeah, I do feel like at a certain point, there's a lot of people just trying to make combos that have already been created because they sell good. I think you got to be aiming for the things that haven't been made yet, you know? Aim for the things that people aren't working on, like that Motley gene. There's not a lot of people working on that. If you have, absolutely. And I mean, it's not just morphs that not many people have heard of, because you can end up in a pickle like that though too. Um, it's morphs that you think are maybe underused, or morphs that you think have a big future if you put the right gene with it. Because in the end, we can put rare genes together and make expensive snakes, but it doesn't make people buy them. The ones that people buy are the coolest looking ones that are also pretty difficult to make. I mean, it's like, yeah, new combination, it's always a good thing. Sloan Reptiles has a gene they created that is so much money called gallium. Ooh, that's cool. Gallium, huh? See, and that all goes to it. It's like you got to have that balance of like beautiful and cool with the balance of like difficulty to make. You put those two together and it ends up making a really badass snake. Like that one, if it's just a Krypton, it's not that difficult to make. Still a beautiful snake, still really cool, but not that difficult. So the money isn't behind it, you know? Um, but if it ends up being a Krypton puzzle, pastel, Enchi, orange dream, possibly yellow belly in there too, dude, the sky's the limit. You know, it's now a double recessive. Well, technically it's a single recessive and a double het, but it's a visual of that. So um because if they run on the same allele, that's why. No similar market. Not many other things with Motley, and whenever I was looking at it, like there was a pewter clown out there with Motley. It didn't look much different than like a pewter clown. You know, it kind of looked pretty similar. There wasn't a lot of difference there. But that pastel butter clown with Motley in it, that thing looked crazy. So I'm like, hey, if that Motley gene's affecting butter like that, not only what else does it affect like that, but what can you do with that combo? Oh, oh, is there movement? Ah, there ain't nothing. But yeah, that's very interesting to think about. Um, what you can do with the gene, you know, there's a lot of things there, a lot of routes you can go. So yeah, you ever want to take a trip down here, Cole? I might be able to help you out with some. I got some snakes coming out soon. Um, these ones, I don't think they're really that valuable until after I find out what's in them, and then it still might not be that valuable. But by the time I find out what's in them, their babies will be. You know, like, well, it didn't have that gene, but it does now. You know, so we'll see how that goes. Pause for the cost. Okay, so thinking about my puzzling puzzle problem. Uh, it does make me think like, yeah, that's kind of why puzzle is going to be expensive for a while because it's difficult to identify. It's difficult to separate from cryptic because cryptic's real similar. So it's like the only way you can know is whenever you do put it with clown. And then you're like, oh, okay, this one is a puzzle clown. It's not, you know. But I feel like if you're trying to put I bet more than half the people with puzzles, if they put them to a clown, they getting kryptons out of there because they're probably puzzle and cryptic. I don't know. John's at his apartment. He moved out. I moved him out yesterday. Happy for him. Super happy. I'm also happy for me. I got my house back. You know, I'm like, I would be in there watching some TV right now, but I'm on freaking chicken patrol. I fed the snakes today too. The babies did not eat. I tried to feed them. Well, I didn't assist feed them or anything. I just, offered them yeah, not many puzzle pies. I know. See, I can't talk too much about it, but yeah, Jamie, yeah, you think about, dude, that snake I made in a pie. How what would it do, you know? Because remember, like most piebald stuff, the head doesn't get messed with. Piebald has a super strong head stamp. So if I could get the head stamp to do that crazy stuff that this thing's doing, I mean, I don't know. And what if I got my own gene? I don't know. There's so many dang what ifs right now that it's just, oh, damn. I did not plan on this. I planned on having like cut and dry, easy to ID snakes. Sorry. Yeah, I was planning on having a bunch of like cut and dry, easy to identify snakes first 3 years, you know, and like, this one was like a second thought just because the female I was getting was going to be like an up to size female and I wanted more eggs. So I was like, yeah, I'll get into the puzzle project. Um, I'd already bought in a snake from the lady that I bought this one from. And the genes were exactly what she said it was. So I had no reason to doubt her, you know. Um, mm. The only thing is, the other snake I got from her was a all codom snake, so it's easy to ID. You know, like you can see all of the genes in her. She didn't give me any fake heads or anything. She didn't say like, "Oh, it's het for pied or het for clown" or nothing like that. She was just like, "This is a snake. It's acid fire pinstripe," and I was like, "Hell yeah, I want an acid fire pinstripe." So I got that one, and then a few months later, we were talking about snakes and this and that, and she's like, "Hey, you want Penske?" Was her name, which is now Cleopatra. Um, she's like, you know, it's a well, she said it was a yellow belly inchy het puzzle. But when I got her, I was like, "Whoa, dude, this is definitely a pastel." And like, you can look it up anywhere. You look up pastel inchy yellow belly, you will see my snake there. It's like the same damn snake, like to a T. So I'm like, okay, I know what it is. Um, but it being het for puzzle, I don't know. And I got one real crazy baby out of it. Is she actually just het for clown, or is she also het for clown? That is really the question. Oh shit! What is this? Uh, you can create something no one has. Thought about a jigsaw puzzle. Not sure what that two pinstripe. Write a jigsaw puzzle. That is cool. Thought you were gonna yell at me. Makes me happy you didn't. uh, all right, so I personally have no problem with pinstripe. I think pinstripe is a really cool gene, honestly, and I think it's one of the few genes that makes a real big difference on the snake. You know, a lot of these genes make the snakes look the same, and it's like, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like a dang Pokemon collector now. You know, I'm like, I gotta catch them all. I need all these different styles and looks, and you know, so I think everybody's trying to find that one snake that is just better than all the snakes. But that's not how it works, you know? It's like the NFL doesn't have one person playing, it's everybody, you know, there's a bunch of people. Some genes make them look fat. They do look fat in some genes. So what I have found is that a regular pinstripe kind of looks like, I don't know, a little spidery to me, you know? But you get the right genes in there and it starts looking real good, real quick. Like, uh, if you look up anything that's acid pinstripe, anything acid pinstripe, it's like, ooh, I like that. That's cool. And then you go like acid fire pinstripe, man, they look amazing. So I'm going, all right. I've looked up pinstripe clowns. Pinstripe clowns look cool. I don't mind those at all. I think they're really cool. What would a pinstripe acid clown look like? I would imagine it would be a more busy version of a leopard clown. So if I put spot nose to it, spot nose leopard clown, pinstripe, acid instead of leopard, might be able to make it really cool. Gotcha. That's the downside. Is if it doesn't have a lot of genes, after a while you're like, man, this thing ain't really worth much, but it's still a beautiful snake. I got some normals in there. Well, I got one normal in there, but dude, he ain't worth nothing. He's just a normal. Beautiful though, and it's almost to the point to where I don't even want to pull him out whenever I'm showing people snakes because he's such a good example of a normal that people are like, well, why wouldn't you just want this one? This one's awesome looking. And I'm like, no, man, most of them don't look like that. You know, I've had people say, oh, he's asphalt. Oh, he's gravel, this and that. All right, whatever, dude. I got him for free from PetSmart. He was a rescue, wouldn't eat. Got him home. Been eating like a champ ever since, you know. And he's really cool. I named him Captain Hook. He's got some like hooks on his alien heads and stuff. Looks pretty cool. After looking up a bunch of het stuff and this and that, trying to search through different hets, I have basically come down to the realization that his goofy hooks are actually a sign for it being het for some type of albino. But mind you, albino is just not albino. It's albino, it's candy, it's toffee, it's lav albino, it's ultramel, apparently it's sunset, it's rainbow, it's so many different genes are all different types of albino. Which one is in Captain Hook? Mm-hmm. My guess, probably regular ass albino. But I've been getting lucky lately, so it might be something cooler, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really plan on breeding them. I figure if I get something that's super crazy, well, shit, actually, that he might get bred now. Because the whole plan on keeping him was if I got something crazy that I couldn't prove out, I'd try to prove it out with him. Instead of adding more genes, take some away and try to get down to the root gene. Might still be an option. Might still be an option. Hold on, pause for the cows. Oh man, I'm stupid excited too, because like next week, well, I don't know what day is. It's either next week or the week after, but we're going to see Dave Chappelle, Tamara and I. So excited about that. It's like her birthday gift. But that's cool. Dave Chappelle is definitely my favorite living comedian. You know, a lot of greats out there, so you have to literally go by living or dead. Just don't know who to breed my pinstripe with, and if people will actually buy them. My fear is breeding a whole bunch of snakes no one wants. That is also a good ass fear to have. And the problem is that it's a male that's your pinstripe, right? Or is it a female? Because that makes a big difference. If it's a male, um, you're going to have to find a real specific female to just highlight all the good things of pinstripe to make it look good. What up, vibin'? Appreciate you, bro. Heck yeah, it is. I'm on chicken watch right now. Something's killing my chicken, so I'm sitting outside waiting. He's a great human. Emperor Pin? What's an emperor pin? I don't know what genes those are. It sounds like a penguin. Yeah. Dude, I'm a legit breeder now, man. I made some babies. Did it. I did it. Man, I seen that Olympus Reptiles thing. Uh, pastel pinstripe and lesser combo. Oh, okay, okay. Um, hmm, I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. What stuff you can really make look crazy. Nice. That's cool. Heck yeah. Um, I would just, all right. So if I'm doing stuff that I'm like, all right, I know I really like this snake, but it's not a high dollar snake. Don't just try to find something high dollar to breed it to make them worth more. Think about what's going to make that thing really shine and breed it to that. Ooh, Xanthic is always a good route with some pinstripe. Pinstripe Xanthic? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. That's nice. That's real nice. Uh, for a while there, everybody was just like, "Oh, breed it to a clown, breed it to a clown." Nothing wrong with the pinstripe clown. I do love pinstripe clowns, but it's going to be pinstripe het clown, and I don't know that people are going to spend the extra money for it being a het clown. If you end up with pinstripe clowns, oh heck yeah, those things are going to sell like hotcakes. But you might end up having to hold back a bunch of stuff and then breed those, and I don't know, it could get messy there. Hmm. I'm gonna have to actually look into the pinstripe uh, project a little more and find out really what makes pinstripe tick. You know, like what really does good and bad. I've been looking at it as how can I alter pin, but I haven't been looking at it as how can I make pinstripe better. You know, I think the first thing is definitely going to be like acid confusion. As soon as you look up an acid or confusion pinstripe, you're like, oh wow, yeah, that's busy as shit, you know. Um, so I think that's your building blocks right there. If you can find an acid or something to go to, that'd be really cool. But what about like something in the 8-ball complex that'll mess with the lesser that's in the bell complex? You know, because don't they make a because I'm not real big on those like you know they always got like the yellow belly complex and stuff where it's like asphalts and highways and byways and freeways and sidewalks and you know I don't know all that stuff. There's a bunch of those. They're all like messing with each other all the time. Um, I've just been kind of focusing on the things that I have right now, not necessarily the things that I will have shortly. But I should probably get back on it and really start paying attention to what these genes are doing in combinations. Yeah, definitely. The acid in there is always a good one, but acid's stupid expensive. Even though it's a codom, it's still just expensive. So I am pairing my acid fire pinstripe to my spot nose clown right now. So I'll have hets, you know, I'm being the same boat you would be if you put a clown to it. You're like, you're getting hets. I'm hoping that they'll have. See, I like black pastel. Yeah, you right there. You put black pastel and lesser. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. In a pinstripe. Oof. Instead of black pastel, I would choose cinnamon. Cinnamon lesser pinstripe. I think that might actually do a little bit better because then you can put it into a clown and it really mess with that stuff. Keep that dark stripe up top, give you some contrast. I know that if you put it to a puzzle, dude, I've seen a cinnamon puzzle. That thing looks sick. I'm like, oh heck yeah, they're like, oh well, it looked okay. I'm like, dude, that is literally the start of what that morph can be. Cinnamon puzzle, nothing else in it, and it looks awesome. It's like, man, you can put 3 or 4 more genes on there and make it really crazy, you know? So that's, man, snakes are a real head scratcher. And I feel bad for Ken too, because Ken right now is still waiting on eggs. That poor dude. He started pairing right around the same time as I did. I had 3 females to pair. Um, all 3 of them dropped their eggs already. You know, I got all 3 of them have eggs on the ground. They're getting ready for next year. You know, I'm packing them back up with food. So, and today was a good day because everybody ate and some of the big females ate twice. I was like, yeah, that's a good day. Except for the babies. The babies didn't eat. But I didn't like try to assist feed or anything. I just put some pinkies in there, see if they'll take them. You know, I'm going to try to see if the natural route will work. And pinkies won't mess up the babies anyways. They ain't even got teeth. So it's cool. Uh, I might switch out for some ASFs though. Like maybe next week get some little baby ASFs for them. I think they'll be more likely to get them because for one, they're hairy at a really small size. You know, the size is really small, but they get fur already. I think that might entice the babies a little more than like the pinkies that don't have fur. You know, because that could be my fingers. I'm excited. Nice. Yeah, 3 ready. Have you been pairing yet? It takes like a damn year to make snakes. I would start pairing right away. It takes a long time. Um, Ken and I have been like going back and forth on what size you should start pairing and what size you shouldn't. But I want to know, what size are you pairing at? What size are the males and what size are your females? And it's not really a year. It's like 8 months, but then it's still 2 months for the eggs to hatch, and then like another 2 months minimum of the babies to grow up and eat a few meals before you can give them away, you know, or sell them or whatever. So it's like, yeah, before you get more, like before you're actually able to sell them, it's going to be about a year. I I didn't realize that that's how long it took. I'd have been trying to pair earlier, but I'm glad I didn't pair earlier because of the exact thing that's happening to Ken right now. They haven't laid. I don't know. He was told that he could start pairing at 900 grams. Um, and I think he was still waiting until after 900. I think he was around 1,000. But I thought that 1,000 to me seemed like a puberty phase. The Mojave scale has 66% het BPI, 66% het hypo. Nice. Is that a male or a female? I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Damn. I feel like I was on something there. Austin. Oh, yeah. So like I think Ken still waited until like 950 or so. He might have even waited to 1,000. But I feel like 1,000 is like because they say 1,000 gram wall, like it'll sit at 1,000 grams for a long time. Ooh, 2,200 grams pair yesterday for sure. You're 100% good. That's a big girl. Mine, I started pairing mine at like 1,250. One of them, Cleopatra, was at 1,350, and she laid first too, so that did matter. Um, oh yeah, yeah, you're good. Anything over 1,250, you're good. 1,350, no problem. I mean, that was I did like 1,250 for Roxanne. Uh, Mrs. Buttersworth, when I started pairing her, she was like 1,290, and Cleopatra was like 1,360. 13 but because she was bigger, I paired her like a week or two before the other two, and she ended up having her clutch. Um, like it was like I can look it up, but I want to say it was like 2 weeks, like 2 weeks after she dropped hers, and then Mrs. Buttersworth dropped hers, and like another 2 weeks, Roxanne dropped hers. I think Roxanne might have been a little bit longer. I think Roxanne might have been like 3 weeks actually. It might have been a whole month. Not sure. Well, let's see. When did I get those? This July. Hmm. Yeah, no. I think those other ones I might have already cut those eggs before I got the second clutch. I have to look back on my video footage. See, that's why I record all this stuff, because if I can't remember, I'm like, hold on, I can go back and look and see what day I posted this video, what day I posted that video. It's really helpful. Honestly. It's kind of a pain in the butt, like having to go through videos, but being able to see the dates and stuff and know like, okay, this is what they looked like on that day, and this and that. This is what day I put them in there. That's good to know. And then I can go back and be like, okay, she laid 2 weeks after her. She laid 3 weeks after her, like, but the 1,200 grams, you can probably start pairing now. Because she was only 1,150. I went ahead and paired her to Monty for 2 days. And then it's been like almost 3 weeks now. I haven't paired her back. But what that did was boosted her mind so that now she's eating more. I got her to eat two today, so she's packing on the pounds. It might be a good idea to let them breed a little bit. If you see a lock right away, like if you actually see them lock, you don't have to breed again for another month. That's what I was told. That's what I did, and I got a bunch of eggs out of it. I'm just passing the information I received to you. If I see a lot of people that are like, oh, I breed every week. Like Ken was breeding every week. Ken still doesn't have eggs. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm just pointing out that we have done it two different ways, and we're still waiting on his. He was a little lighter than me, so we were thinking he should be laying right around the time of Mrs. Buttersworth's clutch hatching, which should be in like 2 weeks. If he doesn't have eggs in 2 weeks, then something's wrong, you know? Um, but as of right now, he hasn't gone off track either. He's fine. They haven't come yet. We were hoping they would have been earlier. But yeah, doing the whole like put them in there for a minute, see if they lock, put them in there for like 2 days, see if they lock. If you can't, confirm a lock, it's not a big deal. Take them out. Yeah, I got some goofy names actually. Uh, so yeah, Penny and Monty have been getting paired up. Monty the Python, And then Penny, the pinstripe. Um, but yeah, she has been eating good. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna probably weigh her again in like 2 days because I don't want to upset her stomach. She ate 2 meals today. I want her to digest a little bit. And then I'll probably put her on the scale, see what she weighs. If she's over 1,200, I'm gonna pair her again. If she's not, I won't. But 12 is a good number. 12's not bad. The 1,000 grammers might want to wait. You can try to get them if they're not eating enough. Maybe pairing them might help, but sometimes they go off of food when you start pairing, and that would be horrible. So it's most pregnant females don't go off of food until the end of their pregnancy. Like I was pairing for like dang, I felt like it was forever. I felt like it was like 9 months or something. I think it was like 6 months or something, but I just kept pairing and feeding and pairing and feeding, and they never missed a meal. Them girls were hungry, and then all of a sudden, none of them would eat. None of them would eat, but they still wanted to pair. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna pair them. And yeah, they all looked big, they all looked fat. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something going on in there, but I don't know if they're fertilized or not. So I'm just continuing on the mission and hoping that it all worked out. That as long as I see the locks, I don't have to put them in too often. Which the less often you put them together, the more likely they are to continue to eat. Yeah, let's see. Her and she locked, but nothing yet, and she still has an appetite. Perfect, perfect. Keep doing that for like probably 6 months. You'll see her get all fat, and everybody's talking about like ovulation and pre-ovulation and pre-shed and pre-lay and all this stuff. I realize now it's if we don't have like they're trying to catch it at the right moment is what they're trying to do. They're trying to just pair at the right moment, but we might as well just pair the whole time, because for one, it usually gets her wanting to eat more because she's like, "Ooh, I'm getting some booty." So it's a good thing. But I don't know. It's up to you. Gotta do what you gotta do. If you feel like you gotta pair every week, cool. If you feel like you only need to pair once a month, cool. All I can say is that everybody likes a routine. Everybody likes a routine, including your animals. So if you can keep a good routine, you're not scaring them, you're not stressing them. They know the routine's coming. She's overweight, huh? She's a little fatty. Well, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I've heard overweight snakes don't eat as well or don't produce eggs as well. But at the same time, when you're pregnant, you need that food. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any logic to that or not because, like, they will eventually go off food. Like I had all three of my females. Actually, I gotta take that back. Cleopatra ate until like the last 2 weeks of her pregnancy, and then she was like, "No, I'm done." All the other two, they went off for like 4 months. It felt like 4 months. It was probably like 2.5 months, but it felt like a long time. I was scared they were never going to eat, and then they laid their eggs. I took them out, bathed them, give them new substrate, set them up, try to get them all right again. First week, as soon as Cleopatra laid, I offered her food like the next day, ate it right away, no hesitation. Mrs. Buttersworth was scaring me. She went a while. It was over a month, I feel like, before she ate. And when she did eat, She only ate a small ASF. She wouldn't eat the bigger rats. Today I gave her a good sized rat. She gobbled that thing up. Uh, so I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's good. And then I offered her a second one. She took that one too. I was like, oh, good. You're getting your appetite back. You're getting ready for next year. Uh, I don't know who we're going to pair her to next year. I got a bunch of different options right now, honestly. Ooh. I could make more bells, but then I wouldn't know what's in them because she's butter and I have a bell and it's Mojave and lesser. So it could be Mojave lesser butter, butter lesser, or Mojave lesser, Mojave butter, butter lesser, you know. Nice. Yeah, she'll be good if she goes off food for a while. See, that's one of the things I was worried about, but none of mine got skinny. They all got fatter. They all got fatter. But once you get them eggs out of them, oh man, another thing. When you go to get those eggs out, you undo her and everything. Make sure you're grabbing her from the tail first and like kind of cradling her head or whatever. She might be trying to bite you, so get some gloves or something, or like put something over her head or something like that. Because Cleopatra wanted every bit of me. The other two girls, Mrs. Buttersworth wasn't a fan of it, but she didn't bite me. She was hissing loud, but didn't bite me. Roxanne was like, take him. She was like, take him. I don't want him. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Interesting to see, though. I showed Cleopatra her babies the other day. I don't know if she knows they're hers. Oh, man. You haven't pissed them off yet. My girls are stuck up, man. They're stuck up. Oh, no. They're like, no, don't touch me right now. Yeah. I mean, today nobody came out of their tubs really to get the rat. Sometimes they do, man. Sometimes they're ready. Cause I got a trick about it. What I do is whenever I come in, I'll set the rat tub there, but I'll leave it in front of the snake racks for like a half an hour. Just with all the rats in it, sealed up, no rats can get out. Leave it there for half an hour. Let that smell get up and going. And then they start hearing them drawers open and rats squealing, and by the time you get to the bottom of the rack, them snakes are coming out. And it's like, oh shit, here you go. And you're like throwing it at them. Take it. you know it sucks whenever they miss the rat and they're like, you got another one? And I'm like, it's right there, don't look at me. Like, they're coming at me. I'm like, leave me alone, I'm not the guy. They're like, no, you bring them, I know you're the guy. So sometimes, ooh, I got another trick. If you go to feed something and it's too big or something, right? And you're like, damn, now I got this rat in there that's too big for my snake. My snake is not going to eat it, but my snake is pissed off and it's going to try to bite me, right? Trick to it. Grab a much smaller rat. Put that much smaller rat in there. Don't let it go. Keep it on the tongs. Use tongs. Keep the tail on the tongs. Let it wander a little bit, but don't let it actually like wander throughout the thing, because otherwise you got two rats that are now wandering loose in the enclosure. So just keep it on the tongs. Let it, walk around or whatever as you're keeping it. that snake's going to get the smaller one. As soon as it strikes the smaller one, you grab the bigger one, put it back in the tub. Done. Little quick trick on that one. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, all right, but sometimes it sucks. You got to open up like more than one tub at once. Because it's like the one is already eating and it's like got that rat all high up and you can't shut the tub because it's like there you're like, dang, I gotta leave it open until it's done, and then like you're trying to feed the other ones and like there's one over here you're doing and you forgot that this one was still open and it done finished its meal, it's coming down now and you're over here doing the other ones going, oh god, put this thing back here, take one, get out of here. Take my rats, it's fine. Just get. Uh, it's so funny though, because like they really are a bunch of sweethearts. All them snakes are sweethearts though. It's weird. It's tough and it's scary, and everybody thinks that they're, so cold and stuff. I don't know, man. I just see them as like dainty. They're a little bit dainty, like, and you can tell that they're like pretty innocent and like scared all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like the only time they're badasses is literally when they're eating. Other than that, they are pretty dainty and just beautiful little creatures, like they're cool. It's cool that they have that yin and yang too, to where it's like on any given day, dude, those little babies, I'll put them babies on my nose. I don't care if they bite me. I'll let them bite my nose. They're little guys. I'm like, it's all good. But like some of my big ones, I ain't putting them motherfuckers in my face. Dude, I will never put Cleopatra to my face. Cleopatra is a spicy girl. Now, I respect her. I love her. I think she's beautiful. And yes, she has moments of daintiness. And I try to recognize that and, coddle her a bit so that she realizes that I will help her, protect her, or whatever, try to make her feel better. In my mind, all this stuff is happening. Maybe the snake's like, this guy won't stop touching me. It could be, I don't know. I don't know how this is going. Um, yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't say. I think there's a little bit of adventure in them, like because they're not completely innocent. Like they'll get you good if you let them, or if like you're not paying attention. They might, not reading their body language is a good way to get bit. You know, um, but as keepers, we know that as long as they don't get our eyes or something, dude, they ain't gonna do nothing to us. A little bit of blood, and they have an anticoagulant in their teeth, so it literally makes us bleed more. So it's an even less likely chance of an infection. Dude, that's cool, you know. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, so back in the day, I had some snakes when I was like 15. My brother and I had gotten them from a local pet store, and we've gotten a couple ball pythons, and then we got really into it, and we were like, "Oh man, I want different types." So then we got like a California king snake, but we didn't have very good enclosures for either of these guys. So we had this was horrible, mind you. I was 15. This was like you know, 20 years ago. So uh, we had both of our ball pythons, and we didn't know how to pop them either. So we don't know that they were two boys or a boy and a girl or two girls. We had no idea. It didn't matter. Like to us, we didn't know how to pop them. We were just like, yeah, we got two ball pythons. They're the same. And at that time, people were like, yeah, you can put them in the same spot. It's fine. I was like, yeah, cool. So we had them in like a half. Well, it was like 2/3 of a 55-gallon enclosure. We originally had them in the whole 55-gallon enclosure, just two of them. But then we were like, oh man, I want another snake. I want something cooler, this and that. So we put like a divider up and then made it like 2/3 for the ball pythons because we were like, well, they got two, there's two of them. And then we made a third of it for a banded California king snake. For one, we were not good keepers at all. Our snakes got out all the time. Our makeshift crappy lid, nah, they got out a lot. They got out a lot. We named them Convict and Renegade for those reasons, because like every day we're hunting down these snakes somewhere in the room. Well, the California king snake got a hold of one of the ball pythons, and it was choking the life out of it. I'm lucky I came down when I did. Basically, was like yoink, separated these two things. The ball python was like, it was almost gone, bro. It was losing its life. Came back, cool. Took that damn snake back to that guy. I was like, I don't want this. I was like, I don't want this. Take it back. We kept them ball pythons, and then I ended up moving in with this girl, so my brother kept the snakes, and then they kept getting out, and one day we couldn't find them. I don't know. So if you ever live in Wisconsin, there might be some giant ball pythons in the basement of that place. That's pretty funny. But yeah, we did find excuse me. We did find one of them after we had lost both of them. We found one of them down by like the sub pump. We were like, all right, cool. Got that thing, put it back in the tank. Got like a better lid for it. And my brother fell asleep with it on his chest. It was gone again. So that was like my whole experience with ball pythons was like from like 15 to 17. And then I moved and my brother lost them. That's what I was thinking too, because hey, they were not struggling, I don't think. Because I mean, the house was warm and stuff, and it was a huge open like we only had a section of the basement like carved out basically. The rest of it was like kind of like still dirt back there. So because it wasn't a full basement, it was like a half basement or something. So it was in like that other half down there, just loving life. Interesting. I think they're still alive. I like to think that. um, but yeah, when we went to get into ball pythons again, I'd known a little bit about them. I'd had some, and I was like, I remember back then they were all talking about it was crazy. I think Spider was like the biggest gene at the time. And they were like, but they have problems, but they're so cool, but they have problems, and like you just heard that kind of stuff because I don't know, it's not like we were all on the internet talking and stuff. Um, it was just stuff that you'd heard. So when we went to get Hayden's, I was like, hey man, they were working on this stuff like 20 years ago. I bet they got some cooler snakes out now. And we went to this one pet store that had a bunch of designer ball pythons, and yeah, they showed us a banana pied, and Tamara was about to drop a stack on that for sure. She was so hyped to see that thing. She was like, "That's awesome! I want that," you know. And I said, "You know what? Let's wait a second. This is Hayden wants a snake, and nothing really caught his eye there. He only seen a couple." I said, "This guy said he got them from a local breeder." I said, "How do we figure out how to get these local breeders?" And I started searching shit on Google, found Morph Market. Did a search, found something. Yeah, when they were too much money, exactly. They were stupid expensive. Uh, did a search on Morph Market, found a local breeder that was like 10 minutes away or something. And I was like, "Hey man, I want to come look at some snakes. I seen you got this one." And it was like $220. It was a super fly pet clown. And no, it was actually at that time it was like 275. But when we went there, I hit him with the, I don't know if I could pay that. I was doing the whole haggle thing. But after talking to these people, they were so cool and stuff, and they're just doing it out of their house. Well, they had like a barn set up where they had like a literal snake room. They had rats that they were growing up to feed to the snakes, and they had all these snakes in crazy patterns and colors and morphs and talking about the money that they're making, and I'm watching them make money because I'm paying them money. And I'm like, dang, this thing's real. This is some real stuff. I went home, thought about it. Week later, I was like, all right, if I do this, what am I getting into? How much is this? How much is that? Started really breaking it down. And the first snake I bought with the intention of breeding was T'Challa. And he is an example. Oh, no. Excuse me. He is piebald het exanthic. I got him from the guy that runs Reptichip. It's on the ball pythons. And he said it might be leopard, but it's tough to tell. It is tough to tell. I'm probably have to say he doesn't, unless, of course, the babies come out with some crazy shit. And then I'm going to be like, all right, well, it's got to be, But in my mind, I'm like, nah, he probably don't have no leopard. But yeah, we went from him and then just started going crazy after that, getting something to match to him because I was like, all right, well, obviously $2,500 is nothing to scoff at. If I can make $2,500 off of a couple of snakes that I paid like less than $1,000 for the pair, that's cool. So I was shooting for exanthic pieds. I'm still not against exanthic pieds. I'm all for exanthic everything. Shit, I like I I personally think that all of these combos should be offered in exanthic, and they should be offered in albino, and probably banana also, or lesser also. Which the albino and lesser, that's going to be a big thing. But yeah. There you go. There you go. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, if you don't get something, my Pied Clutch is due, I believe, on August 13th. Should be the day that we do the Pied Clutch cutting, which that one is a visual pied, 100% het exanthic, going to a visual pied. So babies 50% het exanthic, but they'll all be pieds. And my female is a really beautiful pied. So I'm pretty happy about that actually. She does have the same neck thing as my guy, and they're talking about, oh, that might be, a het marker for Xanthic. So if I do get, the lightning pied out of that clutch, I know that she was het for Xanthic. And then the ones that aren't visuals will be 66%, which is better than 50%. You know, odds went up. But yeah, I got the butter clown clutch. That one is the 23rd. We're cutting that of this month. And then next month, the 13th, is the pied clutch. And then I'm done for this year. I'm already starting to pair for my next season, which should be again in like early winter, all the way through winter, all the way to early spring. I'm gonna try for like 6 females this year. I'm going for 6 because I had 3 this year. That was good. Um, but I know that Penny is going now, so as long as my other females get back up to size, I've added 1, so I'll have 4. And then Black Betty is up to her size. My black pastel het Xanthic, 66% het pied. That one I'm excited for because that's some Xanthic black pastel pieds, and I can put that to my clown project. Really go hard. Mm, yeah, that's cool. And then I think I think my spot nose albino might be up to size. If she is, then that's cool. I haven't decided if I want to go Powerball or not because I don't want to have the the health issues that come along with Powerballs. But I do want a Powerball because Powerballs are really freaking awesome. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want unhealthy snakes, but I do want really cool snakes. And there's no guarantee they'll be unhealthy. And then they'll be double het. It'll be a Powerball that's double het for albino clown. It's pretty good. Save one of those. Put it back to a sibling that's just a regular spot nose. Bam. Make more Powerballs that are visual albino clouds. Oh, a Powerball is super spot nose. Super spot nose. Yeah, they're, I don't know. I think the thing that goes wrong with them is like shark mouth or something, they say. Like I think their face looks a little messed up, like their lips don't get right or something. I don't know. People say, oh, low temperatures and a longer, period and this and that, but I'm like, hey man, I'm still new at this. I'm not trying to go all these crazy routes. I'm just trying to, you know, make these snakes live. So some of the new and crazier things that people are doing that might work, I don't know that I want to take the chance because it might not work too. So yeah. What day is today? What day is today? It's 2:37, July 7th. All right, so I'm cutting on the 23rd. So I don't have to wait. I don't have to count the 23rd because I don't have to wait that day. That's the celebration already. So it's still the 22nd. That's my waiting period. If I look at it like that, 15 more days. So, yeah. No, 18, 18 days. It is 18 days. Goddamn. Uh, it's too much longer to go. It's too much longer to go. It drives me nuts. And all right, so do you got eggs yet? If you do, dude, don't open that incubator. If you don't, dude, you're gonna have to fight not opening the incubator. It is the hardest thing. Like I've been like trying to like seal it, you know, it feels like a cartoon where it's like you're like trying to seal it with everything you can to make sure it doesn't open it, then you're like, I gotta open it. You know, like uh, I think on these two clutches, they're gonna do even better than the clutch before. Because I didn't realize one of those eggs on Mrs. or on Cleopatra was actually a slug. And then the other egg that didn't live, because I had two that didn't live, the other one I when I pulled the eggs and like John and I were candling them, I thought it was gonna be twins because for one, it was a really long, skinny egg instead of like the regular sized egg. It was like a really long one. We were like, that's weird. It's either going to be a real big baby or like twins or something. And then when I went to candle it, the veins did like that kind of thing. Like they weren't a it was like boom right there, and you could literally see a gap there. So you were like, is that going to be two or is that just like a messed up one? And guess what? It was a messed up one. So, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Whoa, you want a chameleon egg? How the hell do you keep a chameleon alive? Do you already have it, or do they have it and they send you it after it lives? Or what? What the heck is how you deal with that? Give me some more stuff. Oh, they're breeding it. They don't have the egg yet, or they have the egg and you're just like waiting for it to hatch, or what? What the heck? What is going on here? Do they have the egg? You got the egg? Is the egg around? What's up with this chameleon? I want to know. It's interesting. All right, anybody over there messing with my chickens? I don't want to wake up the chickens, otherwise I'd start barking just to make sure. Just an egg. Oh, you have the egg. Oh, damn. Okay, that's interesting. Dude, that's got to be difficult. How did you get it there in, I don't know. Dude, all I can think about is ball python eggs. And like, as soon as you see them, you got to try to get them in the incubator as fast as you can. You know, like candle them, do all your stuff, get them in the incubator. So I'm like, how the heck did you get an egg? They got to be different than freaking ball pythons. You know, it's got to be. Estimated June 15th and nothing. Hmm. Did you candle it? Is there something growing in it? Do you have to cut the egg like you do with ball python? See, I don't know enough about chameleons to know like if that's a normal thing or not. Damn, I love chameleons though. Those things are cool. I would want one. but I don't want one until I know I can take good care of it, because I know that a lot of chameleons die in captivity. Well, I don't know if it's just specific chameleons, but I know that the chameleon I want dies in captivity a lot. So I got to make sure I got like, I'm going to try to do like a fenced in thing, or like a netted in thing, basically, with like 3 or 4 trees and like 2 or 3 bushes. And then like water's hanging everywhere, and food and vines and shit, like try to load it up on a bunch of cool stuff to do. No cutting the egg, it will hatch on its own. Nice. Nice. That's cool. I mean, technically, ball pythons are supposed to hatch on their own too. They have the egg tooth, but we cut them just to make sure that they're able to do it, because in the wild, they don't all make it, you know? That's the thing, is when we're doing it in captivity, we can kind of control some of these variants that enable maybe a otherwise healthy snake to not be able to get out of the egg. Maybe its egg tooth fell off too early or something. My veiled chameleon is doing great. I had 2 years. Sadly, 6 years. Yeah, but still having it for 2 years, that's cool, man. Heck yeah, you're doing it right then. If it's lived for 2 years, it is absolutely living life. Otherwise, snakes that want to give up, or animals in general that want to give up on life, hell, people that want to give up on life, man, they usually go pretty soon. They don't usually take a long time. Yeah, getting egg bound. Well, that's assuming they're producing eggs, though. Oh, hey, I gotta bring my axolotls back over here. They've been at my mom's house, because we were gonna move and all this other stuff, and then we ended up not moving. So then, like, we brought all the stuff over there, set it all up there, and then we didn't move. And it's a lot to take back down and move all over here. And we wanted to upgrade the axolotl enclosure anyways, because there's some breeding fools, but there are also some eating fools. And they have had, like, I don't know if you call them a clutch or whatever, but they've had a bunch of babies a bunch of times, and they just eat them all. None survive. Um, I've watched them like the last time I watched one hatch, went right by dad, honk on. I was like, why? And I know take them out, put them in another enclosure. I got that. I don't have another enclosure for them. And honestly, I don't want to put them in another damn 20-gallon. I want to give them something better. So I'm like, all right, we're going to put them in the cichlid enclosure, because the cichlid's a 75-gallon. I'm getting a 125-gallon for the cichlids because they're all grown now. It was fine then, but now they're big, they're grown, they got their own areas and stuff. I want to give them a little bit better spot. So upgrade the cichlids to a 175 or 125. Put the axolotls in a 75 until they breed, and then I got to pull them back out and either put them in 220 gallons or put them in a 55-gallon, until the babies are hatched and moving around. And then I switch out the parents with the babies, put the babies in the little tank, parents back in their big tank until they do it again. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, come to think about it, but it's going to be the best way to do it, because I don't want to be messing with the water that the babies are in. So whichever tank they're in, I just got to pull the adults out, let the babies do their thing. And then once they all are doing well, then I can take them out and put them in separate enclosures and stuff and get them ready to be sold and all that good stuff. Put the parents back in their big enclosure and let them set up for the next time. Also, I got some crazy cichlids that are breeding too. I have some Kyogre flamebacks that have bred literally to the female. They're perfect Kyogre flamebacks, exactly. But by having a mixed tank of cichlids in there, I got some other babies that don't look like any of the parents. They look like almost a perfect mixture of like a Mangano and a Libido Chromis. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a Demasoni. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff going on there. So those are cool. Happy I got them because they're like yellow, blue, and black. I'm like, wow, that's some weird coloring. So yeah, they don't. That's exactly okay. So we got the axolotls just because they're cool, and we honestly thought they were both boys, and then one ended up getting a big old nut sack. So I was like, oh, dude, we got a dude, and the other one's not. Um, yeah, cichlids are awesome. Um, but after they started growing, they just started popping out eggs, and I was like, oh man, I don't got another fish tank set up or nothing for them. I don't have a separator or nothing, and of course they lay them all by the filter and shit, and they're all stuck to stuff. So I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm getting these babies out of here. So I was like, well, I'm sure one or two will live, No, no, none of them. There's been like 10 clutches of like 500 babies at a time. They eat every one of them every time. It's not really a nutsack. I don't know. It's just his cloaca's enlarged. He's got a big old cloaca that looks like nuts. It's like you got a big old bulge on the back. But those guys be eating their babies, every single one of them. But when we got the axolotls, I kind of got offended by the guy because I was like, "Oh, you're selling these things for how much?" And he's like, "Oh, well, an adult's 150. These babies are like 75 or 65 or something like that." And I was like, "All right, all right." And he's like, "But when you get them, you got to know like the parameters and this and that." And I was like, "Cool, I get you. Know the stuff, right?" It was as if he was trying to talk me out of them. He's like, "Well, they're blind, they're dumb, and they're weak." Well, why would I want this then? Like he's like, "Oh, well, you can't do nothing because they're blind, and oh, they're dumb. They'll eat, anything you put in there, they can choke on. You can't even put sand and this and that." That's bullshit. You absolutely can put sand in there. You absolutely can put sand in there. The only time I wouldn't is for when the babies are really, really small because they can actually choke on a grain of sand. They're so tiny, you know. But please, the adults choke on some. Hell nah, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. If somebody's got one that's literally choking on sand, bro, survival of the fittest, apparently. Like, hey, nature did not bless that one, you know? Dude, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, what, so it's blind, deaf, dumb, and you got to make sure that I have a good setup. Oh, I've never owned axolotls, so it's not a good idea for me to get them. What? And when he said that, I was like, hey, bro, let me tell you something, man. My lady wants this damn axolotl. So I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever it takes, I'm gonna figure it out. and I'm gonna make that thing live. And now it's like 2 years later, them suckers still going strong. They look great. They're beautiful. They're awesome. I can make them do tricks. They love their food. They eat their babies. That's the only downside. They eat their babies. But I've never not neither of them had an impaction. I've had sand in there almost the entire time. Like the first week or so, I didn't have sand in there because everybody kept telling me no. And then I was like, man, they can't even get no grip. They're like trying to scooch along the bottom. They're just sliding. It's just glass. They have no grip. There's no friction. They can't go anywhere. As soon as I put the sand in there, they were like, woo, jumping over stuff. Like I was like, oh, all of a sudden they're not just like, I don't know, floating kids on the spectrum. They seemed like they were on the spectrum. you know, you put that sand in there, they're like, oh no, we can, go around this and that. I also think the sand might be kind of important because I feel like they have buoyancy issues. Like just axolotls in general. Every time I see them, they're always just like boom, boom, just like kind of floating around. Uh, maybe a little sand is good for them. Keep them down a little bit. Keep them from floating away all the time. Uh, so my male is a melanistic and my female is an albino. I'm really sad that I didn't get the first clutch because I seen one that was absolutely a chimera or something like that. Maybe I don't know, maybe some paradoxing or something. But it was like half of its head was black, the other half was white, and the black went down like one side of its body and then cut off, and the rest of the axo was white. And I was like, damn it, wanted that one. That was the one I watched hatch, and I was like, oh, you're so cool looking. And it said, right up to dad. And he was like, I was like, oh, you're seeing your dad? And he was like, the dad just, oh. I was like, ah, no. Heck yeah. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Man, I'm kinda mad. I know, right, Eric? I'm up way too late. What you doing, dude? You wanna come up here? Um, I'm on chicken duty watch right now, trying to make sure that the chickens don't get eaten by something. Something's been getting them, so I'm out here looking. But yeah, all right. So I'm a little salty with the spread shop people because I I feel like every time I get an order, the the quality continually goes down. Like when I seen one of them, it looks like the letters are all washed out and stuff. Like the heads and tails was supposed to be a little pink, and now it's just like white. Like they're trying to cheap out on something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to dispute them people. Yeah, I'm on Cockwatch. I think I only have one rooster though, so they're all hens. Other than that, pro pet sitter. Heck yeah! I was yelling at my goats today. I've been trying to get them more comfortable with coming out of their pen and stuff because honestly, I don't like cutting the grass all the time. So if I let the goats wander around the yard, grass gets cut. Uh, only thing is, they chew on freaking everything. And one was over there trying to chew on the damn siding on the house, and I'm like, "Hey, get the hell out of there!" He's like, "What? No, you aren't talking to me." I was like, "Get the fuck out of there!" Like chasing him down. Get out of here! Get out of here! Uh, then he's like getting all mad at me. I'm like, dude, so they're spoiled already. I gotta go and get them treats every time they start acting like jerks. So it's now they're learning to act like jerks to get treats. I'm like, no, wait, I gotta stop this. Sweet. Sometimes cocks. Ah, that was funny. Uh, that's awesome. Where are you out of? Cause that dude, that makes a big difference too. Like going out of town and stuff. If I didn't have people that like I really trusted with my animals and stuff to know like what they need to do, I'd never be able to travel anywhere. That'd suck. I usually have my uncle come over here. I write a list of things that he's got to do, and I trust him. Oh, Colorado. Dang. That's cool. Heck yeah. I'm gonna probably be trying to go back out there again. I don't know if we're going out this winter. It might be next winter because I'm kind of trying to like do a whole like cocoon type of thing where I'm just like building myself for this year, and the next year I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's go back out there. So we'll see. But I love skiing out there. It's awesome. I like driving around out there and all that good stuff. You guys got legal bud. It's nice. But dude, it's expensive. Stupid expensive out there. Can't do that all the time. Scales of love. You're tipping the scales of love. That's pretty cool. It's a good name. Oh man. Well, shnikes, guys. I think I'm gonna get out of here. Uh, 3 in the morning. Nothing's come out yet. Tim, we're probably gonna be up in a couple hours. I think we're pretty safe so far. I'm gonna keep an eye out for the spotlights because I got a bunch of lights now that I can. As soon as something comes across, it's gonna be like boom, motion lights and shit. Yeah. And my stuff's all like specialty stuff too. It's not just like for example, I got 24 snakes, well 23 snakes, a beardy, a tegu, 17 chickens, two goats, and I had a shed full of rats, but we just had that super huge like heat thing. My freaking it popped the breaker. I think it was too hot out there. Yeah, the motion sensor lights are nice. Uh, it popped the breaker and all my rats died. It was like an hour. I was out doing the Uber Eats thing, came back, all the rats were dead. It was hot as shit in the shed. I was like, man, both ACs and the fan shut off. Like everything went through, popped the breaker. So now I rewired the whole thing, got them all working on different breakers. So there's no way that ever happening. And then I'm gonna freaking insulate the whole shed. And then once I insulate the whole shed, then I'm gonna get more colonies and do the breeding thing again. Because that was heartbreaking, honestly, man. That was like a year of work. I had all my colonies. It was all working out perfectly. Like literally all of the mamas were just laying babies. I was like, I had the timing so right. It was so great. Damn it. And then it just all went bad in an hour. But we had like a crazy heat advisory going, and I'd been watching it real close to make sure, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and do this Uber Eats thing. Came back, they were all dead. It was disgusting. I got to feed off some of them, but I mean, we're talking hundreds of rats, you know? Like, uh, yeah, I was excited because I had all of the mamas were all like laying within a couple of days of each other in each different tub. So I was like, oh man, I got this week, that week, this week, that week. You know, like it was, dude, I was getting it rolling, and I just had the babies. I was like, oh man, when these babies come out, I'm gonna have fresh pinkies for them all the time, and like all this other shit. Everything died. Now I'm struggling. I'm at the mercy of other people. Mm, don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, a couple weeks, I'll get it all real nicely insulated, get it all rolling again, set up all my tubs, then start buying colonies and filling it back up. Um, I don't know if I'm going to go with regular rats or ASFs. I think I'm going to still go with ASFs because I'm still a believer that ASFs are more healthy for the snakes. So, yeah. Hey, man, you know, you get setbacks in the game and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, losing all your rats, that sucks. But I'll get them back. I got a bunch of snakes here, you know, and all these things are coming out. And I got some cool ass ones that I didn't expect. So, you know, ebbs and flows. It happens. Just got to keep going through. I'll be back. You know, my snakes are still doing good. I got a gang of those. I'm getting more and more every day. But that makes it more sketchy that I'm like, ah, I got to get these rats back up and going. This is not good. So, yeah, pet story, yeah. See, but I'm trying to blow up though. Like I'm trying to get a gang of snakes and I got to be able to provide for those. So it's like it's not going to be cost effective otherwise. I'm going to be spending way too much on the rats. It's going to cut into the profits. I'm going to have to start marking up snakes and stuff and getting every dollar out of them. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to sell the snakes for what I want to sell them for, you know? Yeah, I mean, there's ways to make it not stink. There's ways to make it happen. But I would honestly say raising rats in a house is really tough. You should almost always have them in like a garage or a shed or something like that because, man, they stink up your house. Can't be having that. Yeah. Honestly, though, now I'm kind of actually a little relieved that they all are gone because when I started it, I didn't know the things I know now. I feel like now I can do it even better than I did it before. Like some of those tubs I got were too big. It was too awkward to try to clean them all the time and stuff. And honestly, it was a big waste of space. There wasn't that many in there for them to have that big of a tub. They weren't utilizing it. So I was like, all right, use the same amount of like enrichment in there, but just in a smaller space. They started thriving there. They started making babies right away, and I was like, "Oh yes, that's what I was looking for." It was as if they had too much space. They didn't really care about making babies. Once they got the smaller ones, they started making babies like crazy. Maybe they were just eating the babies. I don't know, but it it didn't make sense. I wasn't even seeing them lay or nothing. Like I wasn't seeing them. give birth at all or nothing. The other ones, once I put them in the smaller thing, I seen it right away. I was like, awesome. So I think this time when I go to do it, I'm going a little smaller tubs than I originally did. And it's good because those tubs I can double up on my shelves and they're not quite as tall. They're like 2 or 3 inches shorter than the other tubs. And uh, instead of it being like 30 inches wide, they're like 15 inches wide. So now I can put two next to each other. When I get it all done, I think my overall setup will be a much better setup. So, I mean, take the good with the bad and try to make it better than it was before. Hopefully, by the end of it, it's going to be real nice. And then, cool, I'll have the whole setup. I won't be stressing about nothing. I got all the rats and everything like that because their food is cheap. You get their food real cheap. Also the whole thing about black flower or black sunflowers, like making them breed more, might be true, because I did recently switch food too that made them breed more, but I don't know if it was the food or if it was me changing their enclosures. I can't say one way or the other. All I do know is that with the mixture of a little bit smaller enclosure and those black sunflower seeds, I was getting babies right away. So I think that's what I'm gonna stick with. And I can get those tubs off of Amazon real cheap. They're like 64 quarts, but they're like kind of tall, because I want them to have their wheel and run on the wheel. I think it's really good for them to run on the wheel. Exercise is always a good thing. So doing that, we'll see. It's probably going to be, I don't know, a couple months or so before I really start showing what I'm doing in the rat room and stuff. I want to make sure that it's looking good, get it all nice, and then be like, all right, I know what I'm doing now. Check this shit out. Like, yeah, I was struggling too. Sounds good. I got 7 more minutes, then I'm out of here. Been on for 2 hours and 53 minutes right now. So 7 more minutes and I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. Well, let me pause for the cause real quick. Well, whenever I do the rats again now, I'm gonna do just ASFs, I think. I know it's probably gonna be, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't because people are gonna struggle to get their snakes to eat anything else. But I just think ASFs are more healthy and they never get too big to feed. That's a good thing. Because I get some of these rats, they get huge. You can't feed that to nothing. Not a ball python. You gotta have something bigger to feed it. I don't have a bow or nothing. I think that's the biggest issue that's keeping me from doing more regular rats like Norwegians or whatever, is because they get too big at some point. So if you don't get them out at the right time, you now have too big of a rat to feed to any of your snakes. I don't know. Oh yeah, now it's just a breeder again, but it's like how many dudes you want? Yeah, I know ASFs aren't legal in some places, so that's gonna suck. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I think I might get like just a couple colonies of regular. Appreciate you, Jamie. See you later. I think I'm gonna get a couple colonies of regular rats just to make sure that anything I sell still eats regular rats too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, for sure, for sure. Oh man, I can't even see anymore, guys. Man, like, you ever get that like shiny shit on the sides of your eyes that it looks like? I don't know. It's bothering me right now. So yeah, I think I might end up. Right. That's well. That's the thing is, I want to make sure that they will eat Norwegians for if I sell them to somebody and they can't get a hold of ASFs. I would assume they would eat it anyways, but I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I should do that just to be safe, so that I don't sell somebody a snake and then them be like, this thing ain't eating, and it's like, well, I was feeding ASFs, you know. And they're like, I can't buy ASFs in this state. And it's like, damn, that thing ain't ever going to eat a regular rat. So I got to make sure it's got regular rats too. Damn it. I really don't like those regular rats. I'd rather deal with ASFs. ASFs are little jerks, though. They freaking, they will bite the hell out of you. The regular rats, I feel like you can tame them a lot easier than the ASFs. The ASFs are little jerks. But, you know, it's cool. Yeah. Fudge, man. I was trying to make it to 3 hours. I can't do it, guys. I'm going in. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Um, Hopefully my chickens don't get eaten tonight. 3:15 in the morning here. Tamara's gonna be up in an hour and 45 minutes. I think we might be safe for that time. I'm gonna check in the morning, make sure none of them are getting messed up by anything. But y'all have a good one. I appreciate you guys. See you later.